Greetings to all of our guests. I am so impressed at the turnout that we have had. So on behalf of the Lakeview faculty, staff, students, parents, and community members, we welcome you to the Lakeview Elementary School, where we are lions today, leaders tomorrow, and every student is known. Yeah. We are excited. Thank you. We are excited to have been recognized for outstanding growth and achievement and being recognized as Reward School 2 years in a row. We hope your visit has been enjoyable, from the parking lot to the entrance to the office staff, student ambassadors. We hope that you've had an enjoyable time and a nice visit, and we are welcoming you back anytime. Our doors are open to see the great work. I have the great pleasure of introducing our special guest. His partnership and support for Metro Nashville Public School has been invaluable. I want to introduce to some and to present to others the mayor of the great city of Nashville, Mayor Cooper.
Thank you, Principal. It is such an honor to be here. This is for those in Metro, this is the capital spending plan. But for everybody else, it's just great to be here in this school. Thank you, Principal. And I've got a lot of celebrities here. Councilmember Stiles is here, and Councilmember Withers, and Councilmember Swara, and our budget chair, Councilmember Roten, is right here. A lot of work in here for you, Kevin, I have to say. Just saying, thank you in advance. Councilmember Henderson, I think, is here. This is fantastic there in the back. Any other council members that I have missed? You don't want to miss council members. It's very important. And Councilmember Porterfield, this is her district, could not be here today, but I want to acknowledge how special it is to be in her district. And our school board members, thank you all for being here. Frida Player, Rachel Ann Elrod, our chair, Cheryl Mays, your district right here, Erin O'Hara Block. And then Judge Calloway, she's got a big part of this plan. And then our Chief Drake, right in the back, our Chief Drake, our police department. We are grateful to you every day. And Chief Swan, thank you so much. I believe he's brought a fire truck, so hopefully some of the kids can take advantage of that. Dr. Battle, it is so great, a level 5 school system. Never happened before. Nashville Metro Public School System, a level 5 school system. Diana Alacon, our NDOT leader, and Lucy Kemp, planning. We're a busy city, a lot is happening. But thank you, Principal Pirtle, for having us, the entire Lakeview Elementary community. Thank you for letting us use your library on a busy day. I am thrilled to be here to celebrate the next phase of Metro's historic investment in our neighborhoods. This year's capital spending plan builds on 3 years of consistently prioritizing core city services and neighborhood investments to make Nashville to be a city that works for everyone. Now, this plan today also has in parallel with it a supplemental budget request. So, Kevin, more work for you, to help the city catch up on long-standing departmental needs. So there's the capital spending plan, and then there's also a separate supplemental spending plan. How can you do this separate supplemental plan? This is a one-time additional spending. It's really an extension of our 4% plan, which is ongoing capital repairs and maintenance, paid for really by operating revenues. This is only possible because we've done a great job in managing our finances. And now we have some additional resources and we can put them back to work for the city. So it's both the CSP and a supplemental sort of supplemental to the 4% fund request, because we have managed our money well and we can continue to invest in our city. And I'm grateful to our Finance Director, Kelly Flannery, and Chief of Operations, Kristen Wilson. Boy, am I grateful to Kristen every day, and to Kelly, and their teams for their continued thoughtful and responsible financial planning, which is how we're able to make such meaningful investments, just like the ones that we're about to announce. Now, I'm going to focus on three fundamental investment areas that comprise 2/3 of this year's CSP. 2/3 of it is in education, public safety, and infrastructure. And then all three represent significant priorities of our administration, our city, and are essential to creating the kind of city our children and grandchildren can be proud of. Now, the first, and always the first, I hope forever, is education. From my first day as mayor, I've worked alongside MMPS to ensure our students and teachers have the support and resources they need to continue their critical work. In the last years, we do have quite the record. We've provided laptops and internet for every student to bridge the digital divide. We've made the largest ever investments in our schools to make Nashville teachers the best paid in Tennessee. We broke our own record with nearly $200 million in recurring funding for MMPS. That's 20% up since I took office. That is a big number in government work. And we've significantly increased pay for bus drivers, nutrition services personnel, and other support staff. And we've delivered the largest capital investment ever in our school facilities across the county, over $400 million, and that's about to get bigger today. In the past, we've funded 3 new schools for the James Lawson High School, Goodlettsville Elementary School, both of which are on track to be open and ready for the 23-24 school year, and a new middle school in Cane Ridge, and now we're going to add more schools to that list. The room we are in today will look different in the not so distant future. And not because it's just going to get a nice coat of paint, it's going to get a total new school from the ground up makeover. In this year's CPS, we are building 3 brand new schools. Lakeview Elementary and Percy Priest Elementary schools are getting brand new facilities. And up the road and off of Harding Pike, Paragon Mills Elementary School will be getting a near total renovation. And now here at Lakeview, we've been waiting funding for 6 years. There are already 5 portable classrooms serving the pre-K through the 4th grade population, with no room to expand to the 5th grade as planned. The new Lakeview will include modern classrooms for pre-K through 5th grade students and a dedicated support classroom for each grade level to serve the high number of students who are economically disadvantaged and have limited English proficiency. Now, earlier today, Dr. Battle and I and Deputy Mayor Haywood had lunch with the principals, the PTO presidents, and a few teachers from each of these schools to share the exciting news. But we are not leaving anyone out. We are also dedicating $27 million for upgrades, repairs, and other needed maintenance and support for MNPS schools across the county, like new school buses, safety and security upgrades, and building improvements. And we're beginning to implement the exciting announcement from a few months ago that all, Dr. Battle, all 15 MMPS high school athletic programs will be getting a new sports field, every one. And we anticipate 4 and potentially 5 fields to be replaced this summer. And all this is against the backdrop, frankly, of a state government that does not prioritize Nashville students. In Davidson County, we spend $14,500 for every student. That's the most of any of Tennessee's 95 counties. But of that $14,500, approximately $10,800 comes from Metro and $3,700 comes from the state. Metro and state. But Tennessee spends an average of $9,500 per student across the rest of the state, and only $3,700 per student here. And that's true even though Nashville has 3 times the students with limited English proficiency as the state average. So to put it another way, if the state spent the average per student in Nashville that it did across the rest of the state, and Nashville continued to support education as it does, our schools would go from the bottom 10 in per pupil funding to alongside the best funded, highest performing public school systems in the whole country. But we are having to do it essentially alone. Now, in addition to great schools, kids need safe homes and safe neighborhoods to learn and play in. And that's why we're making significant investments in public safety. Now, since I've been mayor, we've graduated 354 new police officers, and last year alone, I funded 157 new first responders, delivered hundreds of new MNPD vehicles and dozens of fire trucks and ambulances, and have replaced 2 Vietnam-era aircraft with brand new helicopters. We have supplied every police officer with a body camera and a brand new taser to reduce the use of deadly force and to increase accountability in our community. And we have made big investments in behavioral health, crime analysis, lab, property, and evidence management. But this year's capital spending plan begins construction on a major project that will impact hundreds of children and families for many years to come. And through the leadership of Judge Sheila Calloway and Juvenile Court Clerk Lynell Matthews, we will soon begin phase 1 of a brand new Nashville Youth Campus of Youth Empowerment. Yes. It'll end up making it the national model, don't you agree, Judge? That will be much envied for the work that we're getting done here for our youth and our families of at-risk youth. Located on Brick Church Pike, this new facility will be home to the Davidson County Juvenile Court, which is currently located in a deteriorating building across from Nissan Stadium. I think since it was built, it has not really been an adequate facility. And Judge Calloway has been a phenomenal advocate for our at-risk youth here in Nashville, and the new center is going to allow her and her team and Clerk Matthews' team to fully implement the vision of family-oriented, trauma-informed justice. So we're honored to have here today, and she will share more about this exciting project shortly. But in addition to the new juvenile justice facility, we're also dedicating $38 million for a new Nashville Fire Department headquarters, a new barn for MNPD mounted patrol in Old Hickory, new fire trucks, police vehicles, and ambulances, and more. But now in a city on the move, and boy, are we, it's important that we move safely and efficiently. When I took office, Nashville did not have a standalone Department of Transportation. We were a generation behind in our sidewalks and stormwater management, and we paid the price with often flooded and hard to navigate streets. Now, since forming Nashville's first ever Department of Transportation, we've invested $3.3 billion in over 800 neighborhood improvement projects, issued around 61,000 right-of-way permits, paved 223 miles of Nashville roadway, installed 10.5 miles of bikeways, and built 10.7 miles of new sidewalks. But see, speaking of sidewalks, in the spring of 21, I challenged our transportation department to build 20% more sidewalks at 50% of the cost, and I'm incredibly proud that Diana and her team has met that goal in less than 1 year. But the work continues, and now we are allocating $85 million for NDOT to expand resurfacing projects to more neighborhoods, to implement traffic calming and other Vision Zero initiatives to eliminate pedestrian fatalities, to upgrade traffic management and signals to cut down on congestion, and to invest in stormwater management to mitigate flooding, and designing and implementing $13.8 million worth of sidewalk projects to make Nashville a more accessible and walkable city. We're here at Lakeview Elementary because Nashville, we know and love, is a city rooted in our neighborhoods and in our families. And if our roots are in our community, that means that as we continue to grow, we must do so in a way that works for every neighborhood and make sure no one gets left behind. We must continue investing alongside our growth and innovating to keep pace with the challenges presented by our growth. And in doing this, we can create a Nashville that works for all. And that's the kind of Nashville that I envision. That's the kind of Nashville we need. And that's why I'm so excited to implement this year's, with the council's help and informing this work in this year's capital spending plan and in this year's supplement to the 4% capital repair budget, to make us a city that, in fact, is that city that our children and grandchildren are going to thank us for, and that will be a city that they can take advantage of the opportunities that is being created here. So with that, thank you all very much. I think, Judge Callaway, are you the next part of our program? Dr. Battle, thank you so much.
Now, this doesn't happen very often where I'm following the mayor of our great city, John Cooper, and will be followed by Judge Sheila Callaway, so I must get this right. So thank you again, Mayor Cooper, for your continued support of Metro Nashville Public Schools, as shown through this wonderful investment in 3 new elementary schools that will be built to serve students for generations to come in such a way that will recognize and anticipate the continued growth of Nashville, and particularly in this region of our city. Thank you, Dr. Pirtle, for welcoming us here today and for hosting this announcement. I also want to thank you for the commitment by you and your staff, your entire staff, to our students, which has helped and supported, as you've already mentioned, multiple years of reward school status, and that is going to pay lifelong dividends to the children you serve every day. And yes, Dr. Pirtle is that upbeat and focused every day of the school year. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge our school board members who are here, our chair, Elrod, our vice chair, board member Player, Ms. Mays, Board Member Mays, District 6 representative, thank you for being here. Ms. Block as well, thank you for your continued support. Also want to acknowledge 2 of our other principals who are here with us today. Representing Paragon Mills, Principal Lyons, thank you to your teachers and your staff and community that are represented. And in the back, I don't know why he's that far back, Principal Young, who is representing Percy Priest Elementary School. So thank you to you, your teachers, and your parents who are here today. So listen, school buildings don't teach our students. That's what our hardworking professionals do every day. They wake up every morning to do just that. But school facilities can, and I repeat can, have an impact on the way a student learns, how they feel about their school, and how they think their community values them. The capital investments over the last few years announced by Mayor Cooper and supported by the Metro Council and Board of Education should indicate that Nashville truly values our students and wants them to learn and thrive in a great environment. I know Mayor Cooper has already acknowledged our elected officials, Metro Council representatives. Thank you all for your continued support as well. But we haven't just seen investments in our school facilities. We've also seen historic investments in the teachers and staff who support our students by fixing a broken teacher pay scale to ensure we have some of the best paid teachers in the state of Tennessee. And I can assure you today we do. And we've shown our bus drivers, nutrition services workers, paraprofessionals, and other support employees that their contribution to Nashville is also extremely valuable, with a historic pay increase last year. This is on top of the investments made to ensure we maintain our continuity of operations year over year. The addition of advocacy centers in all of our elementary schools, as well as the use of federal ESSER funds to provide for a high quality curriculum with textbooks and materials for all students. Learning platforms to help students catch up to their peers, professional development so that our teachers are continuing to grow and thrive, laptops for students and staff, along with many other investments in both the education of our students and the infrastructure that supports their learning. The investments proposed by Mayor Cooper in the capital spending plan are not only going to provide world-class learning facilities for our students, but will also help us finish the journey we set out on back in 2021-22 during that school year. We set out on a path to transition fifth grade from middle schools to elementary schools as a part of our Metro Schools Reimagine initiative. This has been a long-standing goal and desire of many parents throughout Metro Nashville for many years. But it just seemed impossible due to some of our schools, particularly those being funded today, that didn't have the capacity to add another grade of students, while yet we knew it was the best thing for our students. Sometimes if you need to get where you want to be, you have to just start moving before you've charted the full path. We started down the path a few years ago with the hope and belief that the city would step up to help us achieve this important goal through investments in the capital infrastructure, primarily needed in southwest and southeast portions of Nashville, to accommodate the increased number of students and classrooms required to accomplish this goal. Today's announcement will allow us to replace aging facilities while also achieving the goal of fifth grade in all of our elementary schools in such a way that reduces problems with overcrowding and ensures a comfortable and successful teaching and learning environment. How about that, y'all? That's a goal that we can capitalize on. We don't have to wait until the new Lakeview, Percy Priest, or Paragon Mills elementary schools are built before we can see the payoff from the investments by Mayor Cooper and the Metro Council. We see what they've made, what progress has happened here in MNPS and our capital infrastructure. This summer, we'll be opening the brand new James Lawson High School in Bellevue, which will replace the existing Hillwood High School. And I've been so pleased to see and hear the excitement from the community around this great new facility. It is a great facility. We'll also be opening a newly constructed Goodlettsville Elementary, where new lifelong memories will be formed by the students and staff who will be there. And soon, we'll complete an expansion of Cane Ridge High School to account for the tremendous growth Southeast Nashville has seen in the past few years. So that cluster will continue to have its needs met. But Mayor, Council, School Board, Team MNPS, several of my support hub members are here, quite frankly, Nashville. When I talk to superintendents from across the state and country, some of them are amazed by the strong relationship we have with the city of Nashville and the support in both financial and political capital that we have received from Davidson County's elected officials led by Mayor John Cooper. I'm grateful for this announcement today and look forward to working with the Metro Council to ensure this passes so that our facilities team, which is chomping at the bit to break ground on these projects, can work to ensure we're able to open these new schools as soon as possible to serve as many students here in Nashville. So with that, I would like to pause for a moment and turn it over to one of our strongest partners in this work of making sure our young people are thriving, Juvenile Court Judge Sheila Calloway. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here today and super excited about the announcement that has been made. On behalf of Lonnell Matthews, our juvenile court clerk, and myself, and the many employees that we have, along with the thousands of children and families and youth that we serve, we cannot thank you enough, Mayor Cooper, for your just priority on making sure that we have everything we need for our youth to survive and to be thriving in our community. That's what we want, thriving youth in our community. And we know that we're going to get that. And with the help of this capital spending plan. We know that Nashville's Youth Campus for Empowerment will definitely empower so many of our youth to go on to greater and better things. As Mayor Cooper said earlier, our building was built back in 1994 prior to the Titans coming. And at the time, many people already said that when it was built, it was already too small for the business that we were providing. And Juliana Huddle from CASA's executive directors here, they had an office then. And since we've grown, they no longer have an office there. And we started off with 1 judge and 3 magistrates. We now have 1 judge and 10 magistrates. We have a staff of over 125 people, and we have a number of partnering agencies that we work with. And we have gaps in our system. We have those gaps sometimes because we cannot provide those services in the building that we're in. I remember a story that News Channel 5 with Phil Williams did about the broken system. And there was a mother that said she had cried out a number of times and said every time her child got in trouble for running away, he would go to the Davidson County Juvenile Court and be in the detention facility, but had to be released because the law says we have to release them. And we have our executive director of Tennessee Commission on Children and Youth, Mr. Richard Kennedy, and they check to make sure that we're not housing runaway or status offenders that can't be held in a detention facility. But when that happens and we send them back home, as this mother complained, that child just got worse and worse. We have to fix that gap, and we can. And I'm happy to see Chief Drake here, Glenn Funk. We have worked together and have identified that we need a 24-hour assessment center. So that instead of just releasing that child back to the home and not providing what we can for that child and that family, that we will be able to do it right then, right there at 2 o'clock in the morning, or 4 o'clock in the morning, or 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Whenever that child and that family needs help, we want to be there for that family to give them that help that they need. We will be able to do that now that we have this Nashville Youth Campus for Empowerment. There are so many other things that we will be able to do. CASA can come back in the building with us. All of our organizations that work with us will be able to have a space in the building. So we will have a one-stop shop. And so instead of telling a family, yes, we absolutely understand that you need this service. Now, if you just go outside, go to your car, go 20 miles around, don't get in this traffic over here, make sure you go this way so that you can get over to the Oasis Center. We can have someone in the Oasis Center right there for that family. We can have space, Kevin Roten. Thank you, Councilman Roten. We'll have space for you to talk to your client in a private room so that attorneys and clients can talk personally without having everybody in the hallway listening to your conversation. When I had a long talk with Diane Lance from the Office of Family Safety, and she said, will you have private rooms for our victims of domestic violence? Absolutely. We will now be able to have that private space. So all of the gaps that we're missing in the services that we can absolutely provide for our children and families, we will be able to do that on our campus. We're going to have a safe exchange because we overbook the police department, and we tell families who can't get along with each other, when you exchange your child, go do it at the police department and good luck. We will now do that, Chief Drake. We will not send that to you anymore. We will take care of that problem, and we will make sure that it's a trauma-informed, focused, family-focused exchange center where we can make sure that the child is being well taken care of. This is going to change the game that we play. This is going to be a changer for all of our youth, all of the families that we serve. We are going to continue to lead the way in transforming youth justice, not just for Davidson County, not just for the state of Tennessee, but for the nation. We are going to be a leader in youth justice. And we cannot thank the mayor, Mayor Cooper, the council people, and, and all of Nashville for your continued support on the hard work that our staff do each and every day. Thank you.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.